Good morning, good afternoon. Today we're going to be talking about solving two-step equations, and I'm going to walk you through this activity we're going to do in class. So for here, you would fill out your name, the period, what block you're in, and we're going to walk through answering these problems. So the first step is, the goal of the worksheet is to color in this flower for spring, and we're going to be using the colors you select. You're going to have 4 different colors, one color in here, one color for this box, one color for this box, and one color for this box. Okay, now the goal is that your finished flower will have 4 different colors, and no 2 colors are the same. So if you're getting answers that are next to each other that are the same color, then you probably did something wrong. So I'm going to walk through this one box right in here. So let me get that up. And where is it? So let's take this one box right in here. And for this, I'm noticing there's not so much room, so you might want to take out your notebook to work on this. Send to the current page. All right. So here we go. No, it didn't fail. There we go. I feel like let's turn the volume down. It's a little noisy. All right. So let's take a look at these problems, and we're just going to solve them step by step. So the first step when you're solving an equation, you notice it's an equation because it has an equal sign. Whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other side of the equation. So what you want to do for this problem, you have 2x plus 4. We're going to undo this 4 by adding 4 to both sides. So on both sides of our equation, we're going to put in a minus 4. We'll do the opposite of what we have going on. Minus 4. And then we want to, okay, just from top to bottom, add it up. So we notice that when we're in here, 2x, we just drop that down, 2x. And this crosses out to 0, adds up to 0, equals 10. All right, now we have 2 multiplied by x equal 10. So we want to undo this 2 multiply. The opposite of multiply is division. So we're going to divide this side by 2 and this side by 2. And we end up for this problem, x is equal, because we have x left here, is equal to 5. All right, that's our answer. So let's say in this box here we selected yellow. See how that's like yellow right in there? Then on our flower, since we got x equal 5 right here, on our flower where we have that 5, we're going to color that in yellow. That's the way that would work. We color this 5 right in here, all in yellow. All right, let's go back to our practice problems. I want to make sure we get lots of examples practiced today. So we're going to do the same thing for the rest of the equations in this box, and every answer we get, we're going to color that answer in yellow. So let's look at this next one. We have x plus 3 minus 7 equal 2. So the same thing, I always through my equal sign, I drop down a little line, so I know that whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other side. So here we have x plus minus 7, so I'm going to do x plus 7 on both sides. And these are going to add to 0, and we're left with x divide by 3, and that's equal to 2 plus 7 is 9. Okay? So what we're going to do here, we want to undo, all right, what's going on with this x? We want to undo this divide by 3. So the undo divide by 3, the opposite of division is multiplication. So I'm going to say I'm going to multiply this side by 3. And I'm going to multiply this side by 3. So the 3 and the 3, they cancel out because this is really like a 3 over 1, and we end up with 3x over 3. 3 divided by 3 is a whole. And we end up with x equal to 9 times 3, which is 27. Okay, so remember that the goal is to color in our flower petals, and the 5 and the 27 should not be next to each other. So let's go pop over to our worksheet. We got our answers 27. Okay, so we go back to our worksheet. Here it is, 27. Where is it down here? This would also be that same color you chose. All right, let's pop it back. Let's see what we got going on. So we have 3 more to do, and we're going to follow the same pattern. Step number 1, okay, is we draw a line. All right, so let's write down that step maybe over here. So step 1, draw a line through the equal. Okay, and then step 2 is just to kind of remember our steps. So the opposite of addition is subtraction. Let's see what else. Opposite of Division is multiplication, okay? Opposite of subtraction is addition, and the opposite of multiplication is division, okay? And we have to remember, this is so important, okay? We have to remember what we do to one side, we must do to the other. You might want to write that down. If you didn't know that off the top of your head, this is a good chance to pause the video and write that down. Okay, so let's go back here. So we have our 5p minus 10, and we're going to go through these kind of quickly because we remember our steps, okay? We can slow it down if you need to. So we have minus 10. The opposite of subtract 10 is add 10. So add 10 on one side, add 10 on the other side. On this side, these add to 0. This copies down, so we have 5p, okay, equal to 10. And some of you might become little math calculators and say, oh, I know from looking at this, this must be 2. But if you don't remember that, that's cool. All right, 5 multiplied by p, the opposite of multiplication is division, right? The opposite of multiplication is division, so you're going to say divide by 5. And in high school, this is how we write division. We don't really do the division. Division is like a fraction. It's not really, we don't do this nonsense. Okay, we're kind of done with that. Okay, so 5 over p, we have p here, so on this side p is left here, and 10 divided by 5 is going to be 2, so p equal 2. All right, so that's our answer there. We have 2 more left, so same steps. Draw a line through the equal sign, and remember, whatever we do to one side we have to do to the other. So here we go. All right, so we have 6q minus 24. Now we want to kind of work. You might be saying, how am I picking to the 24 first and the 6 first? You want to think, what's furthest from that q? Get rid of what's furthest away from it first, okay? All right, so you're going to get, so this minus 24 is the furthest away, so we're going to do add 24 to one side, and we're going to add 24 to this side, okay? And that's going to cross out, and we have 18 plus 24, and we have to do some kind of double-digit math, so 8 plus 4 is 2, carry the 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 42. So we end up with 42 is equal to 6q. Oh man, here we go. We're doing it, okay? So the opposite, 6 multiplied by q, so the opposite of multiplication is division, right? The opposite of multiplication is division, so we're going to divide this side by 6 and divide this side by 6. So those cross out, and we end up with q, okay, is equal, I don't like the way I'm writing it there, okay, so we'd end up with q, okay, is equal to 42 over 6, which I believe is 7, all right, and that's our answer. And this is another one, all these answers we're going to shade in yellow, all right, our last one right in here, okay, so we're going to drop down our equal sign, and I'm just noticing if you have just forwarded the video to this point and are copying down the answers, you're really missing a lot of the information because the step-by-step on how you do it. So if you've done that and then you find yourself that you don't really understand where this math is coming from, it might be a good idea for you to go back and watch the video. All right, so let's drop down that equal sign. And whatever we do to one side, we do to the other. So here, we're going to undo this 5 first because it's furthest away from the a. That's kind of how I think of it. So we're going to undo that positive 5 with a minus 5. Okay, that crosses out. I need a little more space. So this is going to be 6a equal 41 take away 5. Well, 40 take away 5 is 35. So I think this is 36. Okay, which works out nicely because then when I go to divide, okay, to undo my multiplication, 36 over 6 is just 6. So we have our last answer here, undo that, okay, A is equal to 6, and that's our last answer. So in our pretty spring flower, it's almost February, it's going to be April and May soon. These are the petals that we would color in. So just to kind of review what we should have here, let me let's put my flower up. So let's look at our flower. So here's my flower, and let's make sure we understand how to color that in. So send to a new page, and here we go. Let's look at this. It's not a failure. It looks good. It looks good. All right, let's make sure we know how to color these in. So the 5 will be colored in. All right. All right, the 27 will be colored in the same color. And if you picked another color because you don't think yellow is a pretty color, that's cool. All right, 2, would be colored in. So where's our 2? 2 is up here. Okay. And then 6 is here. Right, that one would be colored in. Oh man, that looks terrible. Let me undo that. Let's just, and then color around it. And I crossed it out again. 6 and then 7 would be colored in. Okay, and like I said, no two of the same color should be next to each other. So if you end up with the same color side by side, check your work. All right, that was it. Enjoy the rest of this worksheet. I'm looking forward to seeing your flowers.